Fox 17 News at 4 starts right now.
For the first time, we are hearing from the confidential informant whose tip led the FBI to charges in the plot to kidnap Governor Whitmer.
And that informant testified today during preliminary hearings for 3 men charged in Jackson County. Our Julie Dunmeyer starts us off live in the newsroom with more on today's proceedings. Julie.
Doug and Annie, the informant in this case is not showing his face, only to be called by his first name, Dan, for his own safety, testifying he's feared for his own safety and his daughter's safety throughout this entire experience. This all started, believe it or not, with the Facebook algorithm recommending the militia group Wolverine Watchmen to the informant, who joined willingly because he was interested in their training. But after being moved to an encrypted chat, that's when he knew something wasn't right.
The confidential informant, known as Dan, who tipped the FBI off about a group tied to a plot to kidnap the governor, says he didn't intend to be an informant at all. But after suspect Pete Musico allegedly told him via chat that he had gone to an officer's home, thrown a Molotov cocktail at it, and was attempting to map out homes of other law enforcement, Dan ended up speaking with the FBI.
When you agree to do this, do you say, guys, I'll be happy to do this for you, but man, you're going to have to pay me?
Never.
Never?
I never once asked for any kind of monetary amount.
None. Zero.
During day 3 of the preliminary hearing for 3 Jackson County suspects on Friday, we heard from Dan, the Army veteran who was honorably discharged after being hurt in combat in Iraq for the first time. He says he felt a sense of obligation to what would become months of investigating the group Wolverine Watchmen and others described as far-right anti-government, anti-law enforcement militias, with these 3 men charged with providing material support for those charged federally in the plot.
I had to sell my house. I took a loss on my house. I had to get rid of my vehicle.
Protests throughout the summer in opposition to Governor Whitmer's lockdowns were used to recruit new members, the informant testified. Dan saying that even at Operation Gridlock, Musico claimed to have a bomb in his car and that throughout their protests, the group would take tactical positions at the state capitol, adding that suspect Paul Ballar wanted to storm the capitol.
Position ourselves in a tactical manner to gain entry to the building. Paul wanted to bum rush the Capitol.
The informant says Paul Ballar attended the meeting at the Vac Shack in Grand Rapids with suspect Adam Fox, that they even took an oath promising to follow through with their plans.
He put out that the split is what needed to happen, that we became the shadow group.
At this point in the investigation, Musico and a third suspect, Joe Morrison, the face of Wolverine Watchmen, had taken a back seat, feeling they'd been too visible at protests throughout the summer.
So initially it started from law enforcement, and then it changed into politicians.
Doing what?
Kidnapping.
The informant's testimony contradicts the argument the defense is trying to make, claiming the men only talked about these crimes but never had any intention on following through. This hearing will determine whether or not they are bound over for trial, and that decision has not yet been made. Reporting live in the newsroom, Julie Dunmeyer, Fox 17 News.
All right. Thank you for that, Julie.